So there's so much breaking news today. Let's do 3 quick hits. 1, the Democrats just took control of the Senate committees. 2, RICO is in the House. And 3, the absurdity of Donald Trump's impeachment defense team. What does it all mean? Well, to me, it looks like we're moving in the direction of justice. And justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So there have been so many developments today that I want to do 3 quick hits. Number 1, the Democrats are now in control of all the committees in the Senate. So what can be accomplished and what must be accomplished now that the Dems are in control? Issue 2, the Department of Justice is debating using the RICO laws to prosecute the insurrectionists. This is a really good development. And issue 3, we're going to talk about the incompetence and the absurdity of Donald Trump's chosen impeachment defense team. But let's start with the Dems in control. Here is how the CNN headline reads: Senate power sharing agreement reached, Schumer announces, allowing Democrats to take control of committees. And here is how that article quotes Chuck Schumer. I am happy to report this morning that the leadership of both parties have formalized the organizing resolution for the Senate, Schumer said on the Senate floor. We will pass the resolution through the Senate today, which means that committees can promptly set up and get to work with Democrats holding the gavels, which is Chuck Schumer's way of saying the Democrats now control all of the committees in the Senate. I want to highlight just 2 asks that we the people should have of the committees now controlled by the Democrats in the Senate. Number 1, please promptly schedule Attorney General nominee Merrick Garland's confirmation hearing so we can get some accountability underway. Because as we've seen in recent days, Lindsey Graham had been holding hostage, setting that confirmation hearing because he was angry that his man, Donald Trump, was being impeached. Well, sorry about your luck, Lindsey, but you're out of power. The other ask that we have, respectfully, of the Democratic-controlled committees in the Senate, please reissue all of the subpoenas that were unlawfully ignored by Donald Trump and his administration. Let's get this accountability show on the road. Let's move on to topic 2, because RICO is in the House. Here's the reporting about that today from Reuters. Headline: U.S. mulls using law designated to prosecute mafia against Capitol rioters. That article reads in part: the U.S. Justice Department is considering whether to charge members of far-right groups involved in the deadly January 6th storming of the Capitol under federal law usually used against organized crime, according to 2 law enforcement sources. You know, folks, I prosecuted cases, RICO cases, in the courts of Washington, D.C., and I can tell you that the RICO statutes provide powerful law enforcement tools to go after corrupt gangs, corrupt organizations. Who else besides Donald Trump supporters, the ones who actually stormed the Capitol, who else might fall within the scope of a RICO investigation or a RICO prosecution? Well, those who organized the insurrection, those who encouraged it, those who incited it, those who financed it, those who facilitated it, and those who used their office, their power, their positions in government, including in Congress, to spread and perpetuate the big lie that fueled the insurrection. This is an important development that the Department of Justice is considering using the RICO laws to go after everybody in this particular corrupt organization. Stay tuned to this one, folks. And folks, I don't know if we've saved the best for last or the worst for last, but let's just talk for a minute about the absurd incompetence of Donald Trump's impeachment defense team. And let's start out on page 1 of their filing when they say, when they're greeting the United States Senate, here's what they say. To the Honorable, the members of the United States Senate, not United, but Unitas. They didn't even greet the Senate accurately or in a typo-free manner. And lest there be any mistake about what they were intending to say, if you turn to page 9, they again greet the United States Senate. And if that's not bad enough, folks, they go on to misquote the Constitution itself. I mean, heck, it's only our founding document. When the Constitution reads, quote, disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, they say no. They quote it as saying disqualification to hold and enjoy an office of honor. I'm not nitpicking. I think we should expect defense attorneys for the President of the United States in an impeachment hearing, even in a second impeachment hearing, to quote the Constitution accurately. But wait, there's more. Here's what they say in the papers that they filed in furtherance of their representation of Donald Trump. Quote, the constitutional provision requires that a person actually hold office to be impeached. So they claim because Donald Trump is no longer in office, he cannot be impeached. The Senate cannot proceed with the impeachment trial. They would be wrong, because in 1876, the Senate did just that. They proceeded to an impeachment trial against the Secretary of War after he had resigned, a guy named William Belknap. So they are dead wrong. Because not only can it be done, not only can you proceed to an impeachment trial after the politician resigned, it has been done. Now, let me add, folks, somebody might say, but there's no Supreme Court precedent saying that it can be done. Of course there's not, because the Supreme Court and the courts generally have this thing called the political question doctrine. What does that stand for? If something is a uniquely political question, the courts don't have jurisdiction to decide it. It's what's called a non-justiciable issue. Impeachment is a uniquely and exclusively political endeavor and process. The courts won't touch it. That's why you can't look to court precedent to answer the question about whether you can impeach somebody who has left office. You have to look at the political precedent, the historical precedent, the procedural precedent, and it has been done before. There is actual precedent that it can be done because it has been done in the history of our republic. And you know what? Donald Trump's lawyers, maybe I'll use the air quotes there, don't even raise the fact that this has been done before in our history to the Secretary of War, William Belknap, which frankly is an ethical misstep when you don't put something that important in your legal papers that cuts against the claim you're trying to make. But wait, there's more. Here is another claim made by Donald Trump's defense lawyers. Quote, under the convenient guise of COVID-19 pandemic safeguards, which they put in quotes, under the convenient guise of COVID-19 pandemic safeguards, states' election laws and procedures were changed by local politicians or judges without the necessary approval of state legislatures. You know what they're doing there, folks? They're actually trying to revive the claim that COVID is a hoax, because they say, well, under the guise, under the pretend circumstances of putting, COVID safeguards in place, they stole the election. I'm sorry, that's an obscene, offensive, and debunked argument. Not to mention, dismissed by some 60-plus courts. And yet, they try to revive the COVID hoax, and they say they tried to use that to steal the election. Just indulge me one more, and then I'll stop. We could go on like this all day, taking apart this filing. Here's the last one I'll touch on. They make this claim. See if you can follow the bouncing ball here. Quote, insufficient evidence exists upon which a reasonable jurist could conclude that the president's statements were accurate or not, and he therefore denies they were false. Okay, can we take apart that sentence for a minute? They're arguing that nobody can figure out if Trump's claims regarding the election being stolen were accurate or were not accurate. And because nobody can figure that out, Donald Trump therefore denies his claims were false. That's what that sentence says. Folks, Rudy Giuliani would laugh at the quality of this lawyering. That's how bad it is. But unfortunately, it might not matter. It might not matter that Donald Trump has just an abjectly incompetent team of defense lawyers representing him in impeachment number 2, because he has the Senate Republicans. And let's face it, they are unlikely to, have a sudden spasm of patriotism and actually hold Donald Trump accountable for his crimes. Because I maintain that the Senate Republicans who support Donald Trump through thick and thin, through criminality and abuse, don't care about justice. To them, justice doesn't matter. But to us, justice matters. Folks, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with y'all again tomorrow.